right, let's move on to the next game. Let's actually come to the Inter Bayern game now, even though we touched on Inter a little bit. So, what are you saying, Inter Bayern?
I think I predicted Inter to win.
You did.
Come on, lads.
He did predict Inter.
Inzaghi, my guy.
I gotta give it to him.
Inzaghi, my guy. But like I've been saying, like Inter for me and Inzaghi as a coach is just like it just reminds me so much of Allegri when he was at Juventus and they go to 2 finals. It's the same thing. Inzaghi just like it's just a perfect team. The way they're so well drilled. Like I was saying, they don't have to. Like I say this all the time. Yeah, the best teams when it comes to being compact and things are the teams that they use less energy in the game. Like for example, the way they defend, the way their shape is already, they don't have to like run so much to get to defend. It's not like they're playing in a 4-3-3 where the midfielder or the wingers have to run all the way back. They're already in the back three already to get, and then the wing backs just slide there. So it's not much movement before they compact. Literally, all the wing back has to do is just drop a little bit. They're 3 centimeters. All they have to do is just move to the left or move to the right. And they're already a very compact team. It's like they already have a team filled of great defenders already. But then at the same time, their shape just allows them to be very compact, very defensive, very tight, without exerting so much energy. And then at the same time, they can do the same thing offensively as well because their strikers stay up high. Their wing backs stay very wide, so they don't even have to do too much to attack. And I feel like they're about to play against Bayern. I feel like for me, Bayern, I don't know what it is like I see them, they're scoring so much goals. Have these flying wingers and stuff like that. But something there for me they just didn't seem like an elite team for me. I just don't.
Wow, that's a big statement.
Yeah, I just never saw that. No, I'm not talking about over. I'm talking about like this season.
Okay.
This season, they just never seemed like an elite team. They just never seemed like if you look at the old Bayern play like this as well. 2 midfielders, 2 flying wingers, but they were having Bastian Schweinsteiger and Javi Martinez. These are guys that are dominating the midfield of the pitch. You know what I mean? I've always said that Kimmich is not a midfielder. I don't understand this. I don't know. I think he started midfield in this game as well.
What the second leg?
Second leg, yeah.
It was he was at right back. It was Lima and Goretzka, but at times like he lacked.
I think he started the first.
When Kimmich lacked him, obviously Lima will fill in at fullback as well.
I'm not sure if he started the first leg at midfield, but like, even then, their midfield is still not what's it called? It's still not a top class midfield. They haven't had an elite midfield.
No. So you don't rate Goretzka?
Nah, Goretzka's a good player.
I really like Lima though, I'll be real. I
like Lima, but again, he's another player that I don't even see as like a top midfielder.
Yeah, maybe not yet.
Because he gets used at right back as well. So it's like their midfield like consists of Lima, Kimmich, Goretzka, or even what was that Paulinho, the guy that came from Fulham. Yeah. Like these aren't top class midfielders. So I've always felt like, and the way Inter play, Inter will overwhelm you in midfield. And Inter are very tight. When you have a team that's very tight like that, you need to have players that are going to be able to, move in them little tight spaces, draw you up, find little gaps. There's no one in that midfield that can find that. And if you don't have Musiala, you're going to struggle. Exactly, you're going to struggle because that's the main guy that can actually draw players out of position. Because if you're playing a very tight team, you need guys to move players out of position. They didn't have that, and you can see how much they struged. So I felt like Bayern just didn't have enough, and Inter were just too compact, too solid. Inter for me again, just like Arsenal, I feel like the best coach team in the world, I think, is Arsenal and Inter. You can put PSG up there as well, and I think it showed in that game.
Are we being harsh on Bayern though? Because Musiala was a big miss.
Yeah, of course.
He's one of he's arguably top 3 of their players.
No, of course. But then at the same time, you look at Inter and you have to praise the coach because this isn't a team filled with all world-class players. You know what I mean? This is a team that has Mkhitaryan in midfield. Like their best midfielder is Barella. Chalanoglu was an attacking midfielder that's now playing defensive mid. You know what I mean? Like it's just a very well drilled and very well coached team. So then at the same time, it's like you're missing Musiala, but you have Olise, you got Gnabry, you got Sane, you got Kane. Yeah, talking about Kane.
What does this mean for Harry Kane? What does this mean for Harry Kane? What does this mean for Harry Kane?
He left Tottenham and lost the league in the first season.
Yeah.
Then second season, he's knocked out
he didn't just lose the league in the first season, bro.
He lost it too.
He won no competitions. And I think that was the first time in a decade that Bayern went trophyless. If there's a jinx, mate, what more evidence do you need? The Harry Kane jinx.
I think the only thing is I don't know because I can't criticize Kane because I feel like
he did score. He scored.
And it was a bang of a goal as well.
However, what I will say is there was that one chance. Olise sat down 3 players, squared it to Kane. Kane,
Yes, I remember that.
you have to rustle the net.
Was that in the first leg or the second leg?
In the first leg.
First
and
leg,
he hit the
yes.
post.
I remember
He
that,
kind of
yeah.
sliced it, so he didn't hit it as clean as he would have
But he hit the
liked,
post,
but he
yeah.
hit the post. If he hits that clean, it goes on the back of the net. And those are the moments you need to jump on. If Harry Kane, as an elite striker, you need to pounce.
But you see with Kane, yeah, would you say this is something of like a player that's just unlucky?
I do think Kane is very unfortunate.
The talent is, this is an elite striker.
I do think Kane is very
an
unfortunate.
elite goal scorer.
I do think he's very
But I just think he's just so unlucky because how is it that you play for Tottenham for so long, obviously winning nothing, winning nothing, and then you go to Bayern, it's like, and Bayern is not, and the reason why I don't blame him so much is because I don't think Bayern are well coached like that. I don't think Company is doing the best of jobs.
And Harry Kane is doing his job overall. He's
scoring goals,
numbers,
yeah.
He's
but I just
scoring
don't,
goals.
I think he ended up at a Bayern team that's just not the best coached.
But man, like I can look at this tie and say, mate, Harry, if you plant that goal, who knows, man? Who knows? Yeah. But it is harsh to point to individual moments when the guy's already scoring anyway. So it is a bit harsh. But it's a tough one because, mate, they're only 6 points ahead of Leverkusen in Bundesliga as well. Yeah, with a few games to go. If they're not, if they don't take care,
and the pressure gets to them because of this loss as well.
And Leverkusen win the league again. If Leverkusen retain the league,
that's a stain on Harry Kane.
Wow,
that's a stain on Harry Kane. But even more so on Company.
Even more so. You think that's a stain on Company? Company's a rookie manager, man. Let's be honest.
I think Company. I think you picked up a team this good. Like I think he should have sorted out that midfield. I don't think at this stage you should still be. When did he become the manager? Because you should have sorted out that midfield. I don't see how you look at that midfield and you think that midfield is steady. You know, I don't understand. I say it from time. This like Paulinho, you know what I mean? Like Goretzka is good, but you need to have someone in the midfield that you can, like all the time I talk about a player that you can give the ball to in the middle of the pitch. You know what I mean? Like if you look at PSG, that's Vitinho. You know what I mean? For Aston Villa,
this is his first season, by the way. I just
his first season. Yeah. Okay, my bad. But then if you look at PSG, Vitinho, you look at what you see. You look at what Tielemans did for Villa in the second leg. You know what I mean? You look at what's it called? Arsenal. You look at Partey in the midfield and his presence there, which we're gonna miss in the semi-final, first leg. And then you know what I mean? Like you need these kind of players in there, and they're lacking. Like Barca lacked a Pedri in the midfield, lost complete control of the game. Domo when I scored the game. You need to have some, especially in the Champions League, these type of games. You need to have a guy that you can give the ball to. You know what I mean? And Bayern just don't have that in their midfield. You can't think it's Kimmich. Kimmich mainly passes the ball sideways.
Nah, that's fair enough, man. So I think our conclusion is Harry Kane is the most unlucky player, in English striker history, man. You know, but I do, when it's all said and done, I do want him to win something because he is a world-class striker, and it is quite sad that he's not been able to get his hands on silverware. So I would like him, and I'm an Arsenal fan. You know, I don't have any love for Tottenham, and to be honest, I wasn't really Harry Kane's biggest fan when he was in the Prem anyway. But now that he's moved abroad, I can be truthful now and say, this guy deserves some silverware.
Oh, of course.
So